So the new trailer for the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Animated movie dropped, and the animation looks pretty amazing. But there's a lot of debate about the voice acting, especially the voice of Mario as played by Chris Pratt. He only delivers 2 lines in the trailer, but people are saying he doesn't have an accent and that he just sounds like Chris Pratt. I would say that his first line, "What is this place?" does sound like stock Chris Pratt voice, but if you listen to his next line, "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come," it's clear that Pratt is affecting a New York Italian accent, but he's clearly trying to keep it mild. I've seen people arguing online, but Mario is Italian. He's from Italy, not New York. Well, no. Actually, Mario and Luigi are Italian Americans from Brooklyn.
Time for a new day. But as we always say, neatness counts.
So if Mario is from New York, why does he usually have a thick Italian accent instead of a Brooklyn Italian accent?
Thank you for choosing Mario Teaches Typing. I know you're going to be a great typist.
Well, he didn't always have the stereotypical pasta-loving Mamma Mia spaghetti and meatballs accent that we have all become accustomed to. In the earliest games, he didn't have a voice at all, as sound was limited to sound effects and simple music tracks. But in the Saturday morning cartoons, based on the games, he had a heavy New York accent.
Don't worry, Princess. Luigi and Neo climbed that mountain before you could say spaghetti and meatballs.
So why then did Mario's voice go from this,
"Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!"
to this?
It's me, Mario. Hello.
Well, the Mario voice we all know today comes from the voice actor Charles Martinet, and he explains how he came up with the voice in his audition.
You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, and that's the character, and you're gonna be having this like real-time animation system, which we don't know whether it's going to work or not, but you'll have these points glued to your face, and when you move your face and move your mouth, that's going to make the cartoon character move. They're people of all ages, so make up a video game or something like that, and just make up an accent, and just you talk, and when you stop, that's your audition. Well, I'm sitting there thinking, Italian plumber from Brooklyn, "Hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink, maybe too much is showing. Don't bother me." Yeah, and I thought, well, that's not the voice. If I'm going to be talking to people, that's gruff and mean to them, or could be sort of like scary to children. So I'm like, well, gosh, what else could I do with that voice? Well, I played Gremio in Taming of the Shrew. I was Gremio, nice old Italian mayor of the city. Ah, welcome, signor mio Petruccio. And I thought, well, that could be interesting. Maybe young that up a little bit. Or how am I going to do that? Well, I guess I could just talk about, and all of a sudden I hear action. I turned the camera, and in the voice you hear today, I said, "Hello, it's me, Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage. I'm going to get some spaghetti. We're going to put the spaghetti and the sausage in the pizza." That producer called up Don James at Nintendo and said, "I found our Mario."
So effectively, Martinet decided in his audition that because the concept was a character that would talk and interact with small children, a gruff New York accent would be too abrasive, so he decided to go with a more happy-sounding Italian accent, and Nintendo liked it. And it's not hard to see why they went with that voice. The happy Italian voice is fun, it's silly, it's friendly, and perhaps the most important aspect of it in hindsight, it's catchy.
It's a me, Mario!
It's a me, Mario!
It's a me! 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 It's a me!
I did it!
Every day's an adventure with It's a Me Mario, with over 30 iconic phrases and sound effects from the games.
Mario time!
Power up your imagination with It's a Me Mario. Figures sold separately from Jack's Pacific.
It's a me, Mario!
I can actually remember the first time I played Mario 64 at a store display kiosk. I remember thinking the extreme Italian accent was pretty silly and kind of annoying.
Game over. Hello.
Here we go!
Mario sounded like this.
Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
Then Mario 64 comes out and is all like,
It's me, Mario.
and I was like, that sounds weird.
But then playing Mario in 3D for the first time quickly had me ignoring the obnoxious, high-pitched,
It's me, Mario.
In fact, it made Mario's sparse dialogue in games easily quotable and memorable. It's a me, Mario! Became almost as iconic as the Mario Brothers theme music itself. It went right up there with or Sega! And now we have a bunch of Mario fans who think that Mario's absurdly stereotypical Italian voice is actually an integral part of the character. Since the new movie is animated, they think Charles Martinet should have been used to voice the character in the film. While I think it's honorable to want to show respect to the man who voiced Mario for nearly 3 decades, it's simply a bad idea. Martinet's voice, while it's well suited to a video game character who has a few funny catchphrases,
It's-a me, Mario! Woohoo! Let's go! Okie dokie!
is not something that would work well in a feature-length film that seeks to dive deeper into character and story. In fact, next to his high-pitched Toad, it would probably be downright insufferable.
Just what I needed!
Catch that mushroom, you'll die!
Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine.
Mamma mia!
Come on, Mario!
Let's go! I'm gonna win!
Also, we've recently seen an example of the studio using the voice talent from the games in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The studio hired Colleen O'Shaughnessy to play Tails in the most recent film. Fans were excited to hear the voice they were familiar with, and it was a nice gesture on the part of the studio. However, as much as I love the Sonic 2 movie, O'Shaughnessy's line delivery for Tails ended up being one of the weakest aspects of the film. Her performance as Tails was not adjusted for the big screen. She delivered stock Tails lines, which were more akin to something from a children's cartoon or video game.
Let me just say, it is an honor to finally meet you, Sonic. Is it okay if I call you Sonic? Everyone calls me Tails.
Hiring the game voice talent might seem like a good idea in theory, but it's not necessarily the best choice. So as far as Chris Pratt's Mario voice goes,
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come!
I think it's pretty good. It's a solid mix of the original Brooklyn accent, but a bit more high-pitched and friendly sounding, which was the motivation behind the Charles Martinet Mario voice. The question is, how consistent will the voice be? Because affecting a mild Brooklyn Italian accent is pretty tricky. Chris Pratt even mentioned how hard he was working on getting the voice right.
It's a Mario. That's not the voice. You'll have to wait to hear the voice, but we've been working hard at it. And
so long as Pratt does a consistent job with the voice, and it sounds enough like a Brooklyn Mario, and neither a stock Chris Pratt voice, nor a goofy stereotype, then I think it might actually be a really good choice on the part of the studio. Jack Black as Bowser, on the other hand, well, it's passable, but after watching the trailer, I actually think Black is more miscast as Bowser than Pratt is as Mario.
I do not.
The first time watching it, I didn't even know that Black was the voice, and it sounded off to me. It wasn't deep enough, and it was inconsistent.
I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
I'm puzzled as to why they didn't get Brad Garrett to do Bowser's voice. I mean, that's just a no-brainer in my opinion.
The Ring of Fire!
But what do you think? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.